Hello everyone and happy Halloween for tomorrow. Let me introduce you to my little pumpkin. This is baby Jacob and he's been very good at the moment. He's been very good indeed. He's very calm and wearing his gorgeous little pumpkin outfit. But he may fall asleep, or he may start to cry, or may decide that he wants feeding during this lesson, or he may be sick. So there we go, he's spitting out his dummy all ready to go. So you'll have to just bear with him. He's not used to live broadcasting. Are you, my darling? So I've missed you all very much. I'm sorry I haven't been very active recently. As you can imagine, having a newborn is a lot of work. But I'm here with you now to provide you with some additional vocabulary for Halloween tomorrow. Now, I have previously done some Halloween vocabulary lessons and I've linked all of those in the description box below. So if you want to catch up on some of the basic common vocabulary, then do head over to those lessons a little later on. This is something a little bit different, some more slightly advanced vocabulary, just to kind of build it out a little bit more, because I'm sure you all know things like ghost, monster, pumpkin, trick or treat. So yes, we're going to expand on that. Now, this lesson has been brought to you today by our sponsors, italki. I'm sure most of you are familiar with italki. I have mentioned them on numerous occasions. They are a language learning provider. And just while I'm saying hello to all of you in the chat room, I'm going to play a little advert which is all about them. So, hold fire. This advert's going to run for about a minute and a half. I'll chat to you in the chat room and then we'll get on, me, baby English, and you guys, with the lesson. So here goes.
Would you look at that?
Look at what?
Those two, getting all fruity in the back of the bowl. Since when was pineapple interested in vegetables?
I think an avocado is technically a fruit, actually.
No.
I think you'll find it is. Google it if you don't believe me.
Well, fruit or vegetable, I would love to know his secret. I'm much more attractive than he is. And she said the idea of snuggling up with me made her blow chunks. I don't get it.
It's all about the language. I hear she's highly attracted to bilingual fruit.
Well, where am I supposed to learn another language?
You could try italki, the online language learning provider.
I can't go to a language school. I don't have any legs.
No, this is online. You can do it anywhere, anytime.
Convenient.
I know. And they offer so many languages that you could learn any language you fancied, really.
Oh, I think it will have to be one of those romance languages. But hang on a minute. Is this going to cost me an arm and a leg?
You don't have any arms or legs.
Exactly.
No. It's really affordable, and in fact, as a new student to italki, you'll get $10 free credit when you make your first purchase.
Sounds fantastic. How do I get started?
Well, you click on the link below, make your first purchase and start learning.
And boom! She'll be attracted to me.
Sounds great.
Huh?
Okay. Hello, thanks for sticking with me. So many of you are putting some wonderful comments in the comments section. Lots of you commenting on how cute little baby English is. Hopefully he'll stay that way and won't start screaming, but thank you so much. I can see that people are here from Iran, Vietnam, Chesterfield, Brazil, all over the world. So without further ado, let's get on and learn some additional Halloween vocabulary. So as always, I've made some notes, and these notes are going to be available to my VIPs and patrons. I will put them in your Dropbox after this lesson. Now, I want each of you to try to use each of these new words in a sentence. So as I introduce you to a new word, I want you to write a sentence in the comments using that word. Okay, so here we go. The very first one. The very first word here is apparition. Apparition. It's a noun and it basically is like a posh word for ghost. So an apparition. Last night I saw an apparition. Now I was actually going to write these sentences below, but I realise I have one hand holding my baby and I'll be very slow typing with the other hand. But please go ahead now and try to write me a sentence using this very basic noun. Let me put this in. Last night I saw an apparition. So you would use it in exactly the same way as you use the word ghost. Apparition. And patrons, please feel free to write your sentences in the Skype room. I do have the Skype room open. VIPs, you can also join the Skype room. Just have a look on the community tab for the comments that I put with your link for the Skype room, and you can join in the Skype room just there. All right, so the next word I'm going to introduce you to is the word bogeyman or boogeyman. Now, there is a lot of debate about whether it's boogeyman or bogeyman, which version of the spellings that we're looking at. So the first two versions, I believe, are the British English common spellings, and the second two are the American English common spellings. Boogeyman, bogeyman, bogeyman, boogeyman. Whichever you say, everyone's going to know what you mean. And basically, a boogeyman or a bogeyman is an evil creature. It has no specific appearance or form. So you can say that pretty much anyone or anything that's an evil creature could be described as a boogeyman or a bogeyman. The bogeyman lives in the wardrobe. Don't get got by the boogeyman. So please feel free to use any version of pronunciation or any spelling. They're all acceptable in my eyes. Or if you have very specific, very strong feeling about which one it should be, then please do let us know in the comments down below. It'll be good to hear where you're from and which version you used. So, Maria needs to teach her students now. She cannot watch the video. She'll watch it later in Brazil. Oh, sorry to be losing you. And Baraka says, the bogeyman frightened our little baby. Very good use of the word bogeyman. It's very easy when we're using nouns, isn't it, to put them into a sentence. So let's move on and see what else we have. So next on our list is bloodcurdling. I love this word. So it's an adjective and it is one word. I thought at first it might be two separate words, but in fact it's compacted into one. So we have bloodcurdling. The word curdle, to curdle or curdling, means to go sour. So normally I use this word with milk. So milk curdles. And in fact, this morning I had an issue with curdled milk. I went to put milk in my tea, and I'm sure some of you must have done this yourself if you have English tea with milk in. You put the milk in and suddenly all these bits float to the top and you realise the milk has gone sour. So you could say the milk has curdled. It's turned into bits and lumps rather than being a nice flowing liquid. Now blood, of course, is a liquid, and if blood goes into bits, it's blood curdling. But this particular adjective, if something is blood curdling, it means it fills you with terror or horror. And normally we'd say a blood curdling scream. So if you hear a scream that's really terrifying, it sounds like someone's being murdered, then you'd say that was a blood curdling scream. Oh, it made me have chills. It made my blood curdle. So please feel free to write a sentence now using the word blood curdling. Blood curdling. I do like saying it. Okay, one of you saying, who is it? Ambrorio says, I've never celebrated Halloween. I haven't really either, unless I'm going to a Halloween party. I don't tend to really celebrate. I do have a couple of pumpkins at the back, as well as this one here, and a little cat out. But I've got my hands full this year. I'm not going to be doing anything specific for Halloween other than teaching this lesson. So we have a blood curdling scream. What else can you say? I only really recognise it with blood curdling scream. I can't think of many other instances where you would use blood curdling, but I'm sure you'll provide me with one. Okay, so the next one is an blood sucking. So blood sucking, you would normally hear the word blood sucking with when we're talking about vampires or bats, because bats can drink blood as well, and we also associate bats with being vampires. So vampires turn into bats, they are blood-sucking bats or blood-sucking vampire, and this is incorrect. Blood-sucking is an adjective. So it just means you drink blood. So it's a blood-sucking vampire or a blood-sucking bat. You can even refer to them simply as a bloodsucker. So a vampire is a bloodsucker, a bat is a bloodsucker in some cases. So feel free to write me a sentence using the adjective blood-sucking. Blood-sucking. Okay, let me have a look, see what I've got. The phone gave blood-curdling ring. Really nice. I like how you've used blood-curdling there. Just make sure that you complete the sentence. Firstly, we have a capital letter always to begin a sentence. So the with a capital letter. The phone gave a. So a blood-curdling ring. The phone gave a blood-curdling ring. Yeah, that's what I'd like to see. And then a full stop at the end. Let me see, what else can I oh, here we go. So Zara says, I don't think there will be any blood-sucking these days. Good, really nice use of the word. Fantastic. All right, I'm going to jump into my patron and VIP room just to see what I've got coming through here. Hello, hi guys. Andreas, hello. Alexandra, hello. You've said, when it comes to complaints, women are compliments, sorry. Women are ravenous, blood-sucking monsters, always wanting more, more, more. Very good. I really like that sentence. Very nice. Bart, what famous historical figure do you want to write about? I don't know. The boogeyman. Very good. And in Ukraine, we eat curds. Yes, you have the very famous poem as well. Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet, eating her curds and whey. It's a very old nursery rhyme which uses the word curds in. Does it come from the word curdle? Yes, so I guess that curds, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm guessing curds is like cream. So it's the fatty bit at the top of milk if you leave milk for a while. I'm guessing it's that, or some sort of cheese, something that comes from milk, curdling in some sort of way. So yes, curdle and curds will be connected. Okay, yes, he is being very good. People are commenting on how good he's being. This is unusual. He's normally crying and wanting food all the time. Okay, Ahmed's asking, what's the meaning of blood-sucking? It means just to drink blood. So a vampire will bite onto someone's neck and drink their blood. They are blood-sucking. They're sucking the blood out of your veins. Very easy. All right, let's move on. So we have chilling. I love this adjective. If something is chilling, it's frightening. And it's very easy to remember this one, because imagine if the wind blows in, it's a cold wind, and it makes you shiver. Well, if something is scary and terrifying, it can make you have that same reaction, to chill, to shudder, to shiver, and be frightened all at the same time. So something is chilling. Oh, it makes you shudder. All right, so please write a sentence using the word chilling. Let me see what you guys come up with. I have some more sentences here. I have, I saw people decorating their houses with blood-sucking pictures in this Halloween. Don't use this in, just use this Halloween. So I saw people decorating their houses with blood-sucking pictures this Halloween. Now, if you're saying the pictures are blood-sucking, then I imagine that the actual pictures will jump off the wall and suck my blood. So if that's what you mean, then that's fine. But if that's not what you mean, you could say with pictures of bloodsuckers, or you could say with blood-curdling pictures. Remember, blood-curdling means terrifying. So that would work. Hello, everyone. Lots of you joining me. Don't be afraid of me. Did I make you chilling? No. So we wouldn't use it in that way. You'd say, it is chilling. The look he gave me was chilling. But you don't make someone chilling. You would I guess, chill someone. I chilled him, but we don't use it in that way. We just use chilling. It was chilling. It is chilling. Or the chilling tales, the chilling scream. Let's have a look what Alexander has written. Oh, wrong one. Here we go. So Alexander's put, I like chilling tales. Do you? Yes, so you like frightening tales. Well done. Really nice example there. Thank you. It was a chilling tale. Okay, so next on the list is the word decapitate. Now this is a verb. It's quite gruesome actually. To decapitate is to cut off someone's head. If someone has their head removed, then their head has been, well, they have been decapitated. They have been decapitated. So at Halloween, you will often see images of a ghost, perhaps with no head. So a headless ghost or a headless man. You could say he is a decapitated man, a decapitated ghost. So to decapitate. Okay, quite gruesome to be honest, but quite an advanced word. So I thought I would add it. As Azim says, what is the correct pronunciation of the words werewolf? Werewolf. A man that turns into a wolf on a full moon is a werewolf. It's like the same as to wear your clothes. A werewolf. And you've also asked for the pronunciation of poltergeist. 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 I hope that helped. Okay. Iwona says, I don't like Halloween. I think it's chilling. Do use it is or it's. I think it's chilling, but very good use of it. Thank you very much for that. On Halloween, you might see people who look like bloodsuckers with an S. Because you're talking about people, which is plural, we must add an S to bloodsucker to make it plural as well. So on Halloween, you might see people who look like bloodsuckers. Very well done. Thank you very much for that example. One last example I'm going to take, and Anna, nice name Anna, Anna Rita says, Anna Boleyn, and it's Anne Boleyn with an E at the end of the name, Anne Boleyn was decapitated. That is correct, and thank you for your sentence. Yes, Anne Boleyn, who was married to Henry VIII, I had to think about that one. Henry VIII, she was decapitated, wasn't she? Because Henry wanted to have lots of wives, and when he had got fed up, he would just decapitate his wives. Terrible. Okay. Oh, bless. Nazirha says, please like this video. She deserves it. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. And that reminds me, if you do find this helpful, and if you think that baby Jacob's outfit is cute, then please click that thumb button. I would really appreciate it. It's not easy trying to prepare lessons when you have a little baby, so if you could just hit that like button and the share button, that would be amazing. Okay, let's carry on. So what do we have next? We have, to decompose. To decompose, another verb, and this means to decay. Now we often use decompose when talking about corpses. A corpse is a dead body. So when a body is put into the ground after someone dies and you bury them, or if you don't bury them, a body over time will decompose. It will rot and decay and fade away. So to decompose. Quite gruesome, really. You can use it for other things, but often we use it for bodies. People and animals decompose. A decomposing body. Okay, so feel free to have a go at using that word in a sentence. The next one is not actually an English word, but we use it all the time. It's French, and it is actually a phrase, and it's the phrase déjà vu. Déjà vu. And it's that strange feeling that you've been somewhere or experienced something before. So suddenly, as something's happening, you think, oh, I feel like I've done this before. I feel like I've been here before, or I've heard those exact words somewhere before. Maybe it was in a dream. Maybe I've lived this life previously. And this sensation is called déjà vu. Déjà vu. I'm not sure if it's the same pronunciation when saying it in French. I assume it is déjà vu, but I'm not sure. Okay. So Amar says, we will be decompose all one day. So your word order needs to change. So you say, we will all decompose one day. We will all decompose one day. And yes, you're right. All of us will die and all of us will decompose. Horrible, chilling thought, but never mind. You are absolutely correct. So, one of you is asking, Halloween, when and how did it start? Well, there is a story behind how Halloween came about, and I did a video on it last year, and that is linked down in the description below. So if you're interested in the origin story, a bit of background to All Hallows Eve, Halloween, then do have a look at that video afterwards. So let's carry on. We've only got a few more words to go, because he's going to want feeding soon. So the next word we have is a great word. I love this word. It's very posh, very advanced, and it's the word grotesque. I just love how it sounds, grotesque. And grotesque means something strange and unpleasant, especially in a silly or slightly frightening way. So you can describe anything as being grotesque. You might say that someone's behavior is grotesque, or the way they look is grotesque, or an outfit. You might be wearing a grotesque coat, and it just means that it's very odd and unpleasant in a strange and sometimes frightening way. So, for example, at Halloween, people dress up as scary clowns. Now, a clown is meant to be fun and happy and friendly. Children are supposed to enjoy being entertained by clowns. But at Halloween, clowns can sometimes be a bit grotesque, which is scary. So they might have extra big makeup on. They might smile in a grotesque way, in a way that's over the top and a bit unpleasant. So that is to be grotesque. All right? Hope that is clear. Oh, what's the matter? Did you find that grotesque? Was that grotesque, Jacob? Okay. By the way, guys, Jacob is on Instagram. A little plug for my little man. He is on Instagram. So if you're interested in following his adventure, then you can by following Jacob's Little Adventure on Instagram. And if you want more pronunciation-based work, very short videos, they are available for free on British English Pro, which is this one just coming across the screen here. So yes, follow me, British English Pro, and little Jacob if you're interested at Jacob's Little Adventure. He would really appreciate the follow. Wouldn't you, my darling? Yeah. Okay, let's carry on. So, the next on the list after grotesque is horrified. Now, it comes from the word horrify, and you can be horrifying or horrified, and it just means to, if you're horrified, you're very shocked. If something is horrifying, then it's very shocking. Shocking in a negative way. All right, so it's very shocking. I could say that I opened the door and was horrified by what I saw. I saw a killer clown staring at me with a grotesque smile on his face. It was horrifying. I was horrified. Okay? So do try and write a sentence using horrify, horrified, or horrifying. Just having a look back at some of your examples, I've got grotesque architecture of the castle frightens little Kathy. Really nice example sentence there. Very nice. That's Damon Roy. Thank you. Well done. What else do we have? The decapitation of the antagonist is disliked the most. Sorry, the decapitation of the antagonist I disliked the most was horrifying yet pleasing. Very good. Okay, do we have any... Here we go, an example for horrifying. Horrifying facts of the result. Horrifying facts of the result. That sentence doesn't have any context. So if you can give it some more context, that would be better. Okay. Will this video be saved or removed? It will be saved. It will be saved. Unless it becomes very grotesque and it becomes horrifying at the end, then I might have to remove it. Here we go. There is something grotesque about exploiting her husband's terrible injuries for cash. Nazim, fantastic sentence. Perfect, well done. One more from Kyle. I was horrified by the scariest being on Halloween. My ex-wife. That's very funny. I was horrified by the scariest being on Halloween. Yeah, perfect. Wonderful. All right, let's move on to the next word. Similar to horrify or horrified, we have petrified. You can petrify, be petrifying, or petrified. And this means extremely frightened. So if I am really, really frightened, you can say I am petrified. I'm petrified. So if I'm very, very, very scared of dogs, I would say, I'm petrified of dogs. Please don't bring that dog near me. I'm not petrified of dogs. I love dogs. But you know what I mean. So please give me a sentence using petrified. And let's move straight on to the next one, which is the word quiver. To quiver. Let me share this with you. Quiver is a verb. To quiver is to shake slightly, often because of a strong emotion. So quiver is often used in horror stories. You might say her legs were quivering, her lips were quivering with the cold. You can quiver with cold, you can quiver with fear. You know, your shoulders can quiver. So to quiver is to shake. So try to use that if you can. And I'll do some examples in a minute, but let's do one more word because we've only got 3 left. One more word, and the next word I love, it's the word repugnant. Repugnant. Now, if something is repugnant, it's something that causes a strong feeling of dislike or disgust. Now, I often think of it being something that really smells or makes me do this with my face. Imagine that you've cooked a meal, but you leave the meal out on the side in the heat for 3 days. And now it's rotten, it smells, it might have maggots in it and flies on it. And you would go, oh, that meal is now repugnant. It makes me feel very strong disgust. Ugh, throw that in the bin. It makes me feel sick. Yes, Jacob, I agree. I agree. So, repugnant. Yeah, look at him. He's falling asleep, bless him. He's fighting it. So, repugnant, quiver, and petrified. Let's see some of your examples now. What do we have? Oh, keep your head up, young man. We have, I was petrified by the old granny in the street, says Filippo. Very good. And hopefully she wasn't that petrifying. I saw the horrifying accident yesterday. Fantastic use of horrifying. Well done. We have, I petrified how Ukrainian government rewrite history of country. Now you're missing a few articles here and verbs as well. I was petrified, or I am petrified. So you'd say, I was petrified by how the Ukrainian government can or does rewrite the history of the country. So there's quite a few words missing there, but a really good try. Christian says Jacob will screaming soon. Jacob will be screaming soon. Jacob will be screaming soon. Remember, that will be a helping verb. Will be being his state. He will be screaming soon. He doesn't really scream. He just cries for food, and because I'm a good mum, I feed him as soon as he wants food. So he doesn't scream very often. All right, let's carry on and get those last 2 words out. Oh, you're getting all wriggly jiggly. Oh, wriggly jiggly. Are you okay? Are you enjoying being live? Are you enjoying broadcasting, my young man? He's only 5.5 weeks, in case any of you are wondering. Yeah, okay, let's carry on then. So we have the last 2 words are terrorize. To terrorize. Now, I'm sure lots of you will now will associate this word with terrorism. It's very similar. To terrorize is to make someone feel frightened by threatening to kill or hurt them. This can be used quite a lot. Now, actually, I always think about this word when thinking about a dog. So if you have a dog who always barks when the postman comes and puts the post through the door and the dog's like, "Arr!" And if the dog is in the garden when the postman arrives, maybe the dog tries to bite the postman, you could say the dog terrorizes the postman. Oh no, he's going to cry. Don't cry. The dog doesn't really terrorize the postman, it's okay. The dog is very nice. And actually, when the postman strokes him, the dog is very friendly. Yeah. So, the dog terrorizes the postman. So, it's a verb that you can use quite easily. And then the very last word we have on the list here is the word uneasy. Uneasy. Oh no, Jacob is uneasy right now because I think he's wanting a little bit of food. So if something makes you uneasy, it makes you slightly worried or uncomfortable in a particular situation. So for example, I am breastfeeding my baby, and sometimes I feel uneasy feeding him in front of certain people or in public. I do it because if baby wants to be fed, he has to be fed. Doesn't matter where we are. But sometimes I feel uneasy. I feel uncomfortable in that situation. So you can use uneasy when just talking about horror or talking about a Halloween horror story, that kind of thing. She felt uneasy. Now I'm going to have a few dips into your comments, and I'll have a quick look, and then I'm going to read you a little story that I wrote trying to use all of these words. So I have Alexander, you've been very active here. Thank you so much. You've put, more and more companies are using boxes, cartons and cans which can easily be decomposed by organisms such as bacteria or by sunlight, sea, water, etc. Really nice. So yes, items can decompose. That's fantastic. My son returns from a fancy East Coast college and I'm horrified to find he's a nerd. From The Simpsons. Very nice, fantastic. A bird has become petrified and lost its sense of direction. Really good. Just make sure you've got a space between and lost. I'm sure it's obviously just a typo. Yeah, perfect. Very good sentence. And a rogue parking meter has been terrorizing the streets of Kiev. Yeah, very good. Really nice. Always humorous, Alexandra. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me have a quick look at your comments here. Please feel free, if you're not with me live, then do feel free to write your comments in the comments section below. And when I get a chance, I'll give you a thumbs up if it's correct, and I'll try and correct you if you've misused the words. Okay, so do feel free to comment, even if you're not with me live right now. Look, he's gone to sleep. Okay, so the rumors about target killers have terrorized the entire town. So you're saying the rumors have terrorized the entire town. Oh no, the target killers have terrorized the entire town. Very good. What else do we have? It is uneasy to pass the maths exam. So we don't use uneasy. Uneasy is not like the opposite of easy. So if something is easy, then it's achievable. Like, it's easy for me to drink a glass of water sat here like this. That's easy. But the opposite of easy in that context is hard or difficult. To be uneasy is a feeling. If you feel uneasy, it means uncomfortable. So it's very different to the opposite of easy, okay? Ming Heo, I'm sure there's lots of new people here. There's lots of names I don't recognize, but hello. You've said, I feel very uneasy to watch the horror movies. Really nice attempt. The correct sentence would be, I feel very uneasy watching horror movies, because it's something that continues. In general, you feel uneasy. So I feel very uneasy watching horror movies. Okay. What else do we have? Let's have a look. I am easy to do my presentation. So I think you mean I feel uneasy. So I feel uneasy, or I am. No, I feel uneasy about doing my presentation. I feel uneasy learning new languages. Amar, very good, well done. Anil says, nothing terrorizes me more than disloyalty. Okay, it's an interesting use of the word terrorizes, because you're personifying loyalty or disloyalty. Disloyal, yes, you're right. So it's a very creative use of the word terrorism, terrorize, but it's very good, very poetic. I feel uneasy to speak in public. I feel uneasy speaking in public, or I feel uneasy about speaking in public. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me give you the little story that I wrote trying to use all of those words so that we refamiliarize ourselves with those words that we've just learnt. So here we go. I'm going to bring them up on screen so you can see them. So, she made a beeline for her bed. Now, to make a beeline means to go to something straight, in a straight line. She went straight to her bed. So she made a beeline for her bed, turning out the lights as she had done every night for the past 7 years. As the darkness filled the room, she suddenly had an uneasy feeling. A chilling sense that she wasn't alone. Her shoulders quivered. So remember, that means shake. Her shoulders quivered, making the hairs on the back of her neck stand up. Ooh. Then a blood-curdling scream rang out from her wardrobe, followed by the appearance of a grotesque apparition. So blood-curdling, remember, that means it strikes terror into your heart. It's a scary thing. And grotesque means... oh no, here we go. Sorry, I forgot that you can't see that. Grotesque means that it's a bit frightening. It's an adjective to make it seem a bit frightening, unusual and weird. So an unusually frightening looking apparition, which means ghost. A decapitated figure. So remember, a headless figure. A decapitated figure with a horrifying resemblance to her late father. Late in this instance means her dead father. Her late father means her father has died. Petrified and almost paralyzed with fear, Sarah ran into her bathroom and, oops, typo, she locked the door, praying that the lock would be enough to keep the apparition out. Within a second, she realised that there was a repugnant smell. Do you remember, repugnant means something that makes you feel disgust. So there's a disgusting smell, a repugnant smell. Turning to investigate, she saw a decomposing body floating in the bathtub. Decomposing means rotting. It's going bad. It's a dead body. Another blood-curdling scream and a flash of light revealed the horrifying face of a blood-sucking demon in the mirror. Closing her eyes tight, she managed to pull herself... Where are we? Can you see me? Oh yeah, here we go. Closing her eyes tight, she managed to pull herself out of this hideous, which is another great word, hideous nightmare. Rousing, this means waking up, rousing in the cold light of day, she felt the familiar body of her husband next to her. Dave turned. Another nightmare. What was it this time? The boogeyman under the bed. Get lost, Dave. She frowned, suddenly getting a sense of deja vu. Had she done all this before? Dun, dun, dun. So there you go. I hope that stupid story that I wrote in a very short space of time, I might add, I hope that story helped to familiarize yourself again with some of those words. If Irfan says, can we also say pungent smell? Yes, pungent is great. If a pungent smell is a very strong smell, almost overwhelming, overpowering smell, a pungent smell. It's a great word. I really like that word. Where is the baby? The baby is here. For those of you just arriving, he's kind of sleeping in his little pumpkin outfit. So yes, so there you go. All those words in one story. You've got apparition, a ghost. A bogeyman or a boogeyman is an evil creature without form or without a specific form. Bloodcurdling, an adjective to mean it strikes terror into your heart or it's horrifying. Bloodsucking is an adjective to describe something that drinks blood. Chilling, an adjective to mean frightening. Decapitate is to cut off someone's head. Decompose we use when talking about things rotting and breaking down, often used with bodies, a decomposing body. Deja vu is a noun. It's that feeling that you've done something before. I'm sure I've said this before. Grotesque, the adjective meaning a strange or unpleasant thing. It's unpleasant, weird in a strange, frightening way. Horrified means you're very shocked. Petrified means you're very frightened. To quiver is to shake. Repugnant is an adjective meaning you strongly dislike it or it's disgusting. To terrorize is a verb meaning to frighten or to threaten someone. And uneasy, which is an adjective meaning that you are uncomfortable or very worried, not the opposite of easy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. I really do hope that you found this useful. I do want to do regular live lessons for you in the future, but this little one does make life a little bit more complicated. And I was going to do a live lesson 2 weeks ago to talk about my labour and why he came so early and why I was in hospital and all that kind of thing, but he started crying just as I was going to go live and everything went wrong. So it is difficult for me to have set days to do a live lesson, but that's why it's important you have subscribed and click that bell notification button so that you will be notified if I suddenly have chance to go live, because it will be more sporadic and unplanned. Don't forget that Jacob is on Instagram and he would love you to go and follow him. If you're interested in his growth and what he's getting up to, he'd love you to join him there. And if you want to improve your pronunciation and you just want to join me on Instagram, then I'm a British English Pro and Jacob is Jacob's Little Adventure. We'd love to see you there. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, VIPs and patrons, thank you for your added support. Your additional support will mean that the notes from today's session will be placed into the Dropbox, which is available to all of you as soon as I've closed this lesson. So thank you very much. Remember that there are some other videos on the Halloween traditions and more common Halloween vocabulary, ones that I did last year, down in the description box below. So feel free to go and check those out. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Lots of love from London, from me and from Jacob. We do hope you have a Halloween. Make sure you stay safe and wrap up warm because it is chilling out there. Take care.